I think the first time I rebelled, I was 5. And I was thrown out of Sunday school for being too joyous, and I refused to go back because if God didn't want me to laugh, I didn't belong in his house.
When did I rebel? Does it matter what I rebelled against?
I was about, we'll say 7 years old, and a teacher wrongly accused me of something. She told me that I did something that I had no part in doing, and it upset me so terribly bad, and I really had no way of expressing my feelings other than screaming and running away in absolute just disgust and anger and just pure rage.
Do I have to describe it?
First time I rebelled was in high school when I parted my hair in the middle for the first time. Dad couldn't handle that. That was as big as I had to rebel to drive my parents crazy, was part my hair in the middle.
The first time I realized that adults weren't perfect, weren't whatever it was, and I decided that I should pay attention to myself, I think I was 3 years old. And I think they were all standing around a pool talking, and I wanted so badly for all of them to jump naked into the pool with me, and they didn't, and then I knew.
Ran out of detention in 3rd grade. She put me in a different room and I just totally left. And it was very satisfying because it was like the perfect mission out. Okay, I'm here, no one's watching. There's the door. Fuck this place, I'm out of here. I don't have to sit here for no one. And I got up and I left and I went to my friend's house and we played some video games and it was good.
Oh boy, it is a good question. Boy, I'm trying to think. That's a tough one.
I think when I was 7, my parents had been divorced and I was kind of in this caretaker mode, so I decided one day to take all my toys and things that had ever been given to me and burn them. And I tore the head off my favorite Winnie the Pooh doll. Oh. Yeah, I was pissed.
Oh man, John, you gotta help me out on this one.
Actually, alright, the first conscious time I think I ever rebelled was about in 8th grade when I consciously chose to be friends with the nerds. Like, to fight popularity.
Well, it still pretty tight to me, but my mother, who's passed away, was the one I came out to, and I was very surprised by her support and endorsements as the years went by. But that was the strongest piece I ever had to do, was to come out to my mother.
I would say the first time I rebelled was in 7th grade when me and 4 of my girlfriends stayed up till 4:30 in the morning and then decided to leave my parents a note that we went running at 5 a.m. when we really were running over to our friend's house. 2 boys' houses. They were twin brothers. And they ended up making us eggs as their like little old, like 50-year-old, way too old mom came out and was like, "Hey girls, you want breakfast?" So it wasn't much rebellion in the end, but I ended up getting in trouble because my mom thought I was dead.
The first time I can remember rebelling, I was probably 12 or so, and I was so bored in school that me and my friend had to find ways to deal with this. So we'd just come to school dressed as women, or we'd come dressed in big boxes, and we just do it because we know that by about the 2nd period of the day they tell us this will change, but we just kept doing this because it was so very, very boring.
Well, it wasn't the first time I rebelled, but I was dating a minister and he broke up with me because he felt I wasn't spiritual enough. So that night I dyed my hair, and the next day I wore a very, very mini sequined red dress with a low-cut crop top and my newly dyed hair to his job. That was I don't know if that's helpful. That's how I rebelled. It was deeply upsetting to him, so it was nice for me.
The first time I remember was, I was a little kid, maybe 8 years old, and I didn't like paper money because I didn't think it was worth anything because it was just paper, and I liked coins. And so I got some little allowance from my parents or something, and it was paper money, and I And I said, no, I won't accept this. And I started ripping up the money. And, well, needless to say, that was the last time I ever did that. 'Cause I caught hell for that.
And I remember the first time it occurred to me the words, there is no God, and I remember thinking, like, oh, isn't there? And it's like, oh yeah, no, probably not. And I remember looking up and being like, going like this. And like really literally thinking that there was going to be lightning coming down and hurting me. And then afterwards being like, oh, well, that's stupid. It's nothing, there's not going to be lightning. I'm just a little kid in the middle of, you know, my town. That's not going to happen. And then afterwards I was like, yeah, I think I'm right. There's no God.
You know what? I'd say officially for me, it was actually like a month and a half ago. Because I did everything I was supposed to prior to that. And then, yeah, I was living at home and I was like, look, Dad, I know I've done everything you wanted me to, but I'm going to go do a bunch of stuff you don't want me to now. And I split.